What's poppin', y'all? In one of the most sucker moves in history, hip hop history, that we've probably ever seen, especially given the context, Drake decides to sue his own record label UMG. And that's not the sucker move because we have seen other rappers audit their record labels, sue their record label, etc. for different reasons. It's usually for monetary reasons. Like, yo, I'm trying to get out my deal. Yo, what have I been paid or what am I missing out on being paid? It's money related. But in this case, it's not directly money related with Drake. It's due to his image, which is very important. However, we're finally starting to see what Rick Ross was talking about when he said, what was he calling him? White boy or something like that? Anyway, Drake is behaving a lot like his other half. And I'm not talking about the wife that he doesn't have. I'm talking about not like Dennis Graham. I'm talking about Drake's mother. You know, more like a Karen, I guess you could say. Wink, wink, right? Either way, Drake decides to sue the record label, and it's not directly over Not Like Us, but it is like Not Like Us. We're not about to sit here and glaze Drake, even though in my last video, people are saying I'm glazing Drake. I kind of balance it out based on how much if I'm getting 50% comments saying I'm Kendrick D-Riding and 50% saying I'm Drake D-Riding, I'm like, all right, playing the field perfectly. Anyway, so Drake, he files this petition that basically means that a lawsuit is coming. It's not exactly a lawsuit, but we're arguing over minute things at that point. He has an intention, so he filed it through his LLC. You've probably gotten the details elsewhere, or the full details elsewhere, except for those of you that wait for me. Like, yo, if you wait for me, it's not that you're any better. It's just that, damn, I really appreciate it. Like, I want to hear it from his mouth. Pause. Super pause on that. So their whole thing is, this lawsuit is that they shadily pushed Not Like Us. Now, I will tell you, this song, Not Like Us, is popping globally. Across the world, where people can't even understand what's being said. They don't know the gravitas of the beef. They love this song. It's played in every club, every concert. People go crazy for it in multiple countries. I'm telling you this for a fact. I know for a fact. I have seen it with my own two eyes. I have other people that are friends that have seen it. The reports are in. This is a massive song. It's not just numbers that are behind it. However, the accusation is that they used bots, which they've done for everything. And they tried to get it to 30 million streams initially. So they put a big front load, of money and bots and fake whatever into it to get it a lot of attention. And they were trying to say that not only were they funneling payments to iHeartRadio and influencers, which is normal, that's just a marketing campaign. You want everybody to see something when it first dropped. But they say that UMG used Spotify and Siri to push Not Like Us over Drake's tracks, which I'm not even going to say this makes sense. This probably makes sense to Drake stans because they're thinking, oh, no wonder Family Matters wasn't getting the streams that Kendrick Lamar was getting. Okay. Another take was employees perceived as loyal to Drake were fired as part of an effort to cover up UMG's actions. UMG paid influencers and radio stations to boost Kendrick's song without disclosure. This happens all the time. And then a whistleblower, quote unquote, revealed bots generated 30 million early streams for Not Like Us. I will say early streams matter a lot, so it continuously gets recommended. I know you guys have been hearing Texas and perhaps another song earlier in this year. I don't know if it's still going on as the Spotify autoplay by Big X the Plug. Fire rapper, by the way. So you're consistently hearing that song from him. And you're like, yo, why am I hearing this all the time? I don't really listen to Texas rappers like that, but it just kept playing. And every time you heard it, you thought, damn, this song is hard. So it's something like that, although Kendrick Lamar is a lot more popular than Big X the Plug. So imagine if you pour that gasoline on Big X the Plug. And this is where we got to ask the question. Drake, this is what they did for you when it came to One Dance. Like, yo, that song was a smash, but let's not act like One Dance and the other song, especially on YouTube. The music video with Future and Drake, Life is Good. Life is Good and One Dance, they 100%, I won't say 100%, 99.9999999% with the bar on top of it. It's like I'm running back to math class. They did the same exact thing for Future and Drake's song, Life is Good, because that song was unavoidable. You were just getting bombarded with that song. And people will even say it in the YouTube comments of the music video. Now, that video gets so many views that it probably drowned out the comments by then. But I know if you guys were there and were paying attention, you remember that. So then the second legal action was the defamation. And because it falsely accused him of being an offender. And this is where I get Drake's frustration. And I disagree with the majority of Kendrick's stands on this, because no, I don't think Drake is predatory. Yeah, the thing was, it was a weird look that happened on stage with that girl in that concert however many years ago. But other than that, there's really nothing to go off of. And I think it's wild. It's like the level of accusation. It's not, Kendrick's not saying, oh, that guy's kind of weird. Like, because the whole him talking to Millie Bobby Brown, I've addressed this already. Like, yeah, it's odd if it were just regular people, but like the industry is so much different and her parents are clearly monitoring everything. So to say that, like, how it looks as a rapper, if Drake was my homie and he's like, yo, me and Millie Bobby Brown are cool, she's asking for help with this, and you'll block Millie Bobby Brown with all due respect, only speak to her through her parents. That's it. Even if her parents are looking through her messages. That's what I would have told him personally. But he was probably like, man, it's cool. But those two incidents are not just Kendrick calling Drake weird. It's Kendrick painting him as, yo, a minor. It's like, yo, Drake isn't known to mess with minors. However, Drake kicked this whole thing off by going after Kendrick's family. Not to mention him also calling Kendrick an abuser, like somebody that beats women. And Kendrick Lamar is not suing over that. It's funny how people gloss over that completely. And that's a very, very bad accusation to have. Of course, it's not as... You could recover from beating chicks. Like, you can't really recover from doing the kids stuff. Although, none of these have any merit. The Kendrick thing has less merit because there's less quote-unquote proof or things that are close enough to it. Either way, he talks about they knew that this was a false accusation, which who cares? This is the rap game. Most of it is false. And I mean, who cares in the sense that you're allowed to be upset about this, Drake, but this does not help you. And I think this is worse because UMG even replied. And they said, the suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices, Cap. In our marketing and promotional campaigns, no amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear. They do choose the music they want to hear after they've heard the music. You get what I mean? So you can't hardcore push a song that doesn't connect. You can try, but it won't spread in the way that Not Like Us did. However, if you push a song that's a hit as hard as they did Not Like Us, then it will connect and it will spread on its own after that. So you already started the fire. It's out there in the forest now. They were just kindling the flame. And this is the first time we've seen it to where an artist is suing the record label, but it's based on another artist and it's based on a beef. We've never seen lawsuits over beef because, hey, you made me look bad. And this is the thing, Drake's got these deals. And this actually circles back to Skepta, because if you remember, Skepta was doing an interview and he was talking about how the heights of this beef was good for Drake and Kendrick and he enjoyed it as a rap fan, but it was going to hurt brand deals in the pockets of a lot of other people. Because if the peak of this beef is them talking about, like hitting chicks or messing with kids, that hurts brand deals. In the case of Drake, he's got a deal with Nike, with Nocta. He's also got a deal with Steak, which I think Steak cares way, way less about this stuff. But he's got a lot of brand deals that are probably pending or ongoing, and this doesn't help him in that case. They're probably, hey, this is not the best time to release the next pair of Jordan 12s, the OVO Jordan 12s, or also the album that he's got with Party Next Door. It's probably not the best time to release that either. However, this lawsuit, which will go on for years, is just going to stall the entire thing as well. I think this is a sucker move. If I didn't say it already, super sucker move by Drake. He pretends like he's unbothered and unfazed, and academics tries to point out that, oh no, this is a contract renegotiation play, and even he was critical of it. You can't do something like this. This is unprecedented, but I love the fact that he did it for me, because we get to see how this pans out. We get to see how a record label will start to turn on Drake. And we're going to see, similar to what they did with Kanye West, how they paint somebody that was their star, who they loved. Like before, when they loved him, we see what change happens. Are they going to put a lot less press on what Drake is doing? And then people are going to be like, yo, you haven't heard from Drake in a while, have you? Which is somewhat shocking to even think that we would hear that, because anything that Drake does, it gets spread out like crazy. But it doesn't help his whole this just fuels Not Like Us, because suing another rapper or a record label based on another rapper's song is the definition of, man, he really not like us. He couldn't even take his L in peace. And this is disappointing to me, because when I saw Drake on that stream with XQC, at least a couple of the clips, I thought, damn, like Drake seems cool. He's likable. He's building it back up. He seems unfazed by this. Like the whole joke about, oh, they're going to have to come with facts. Fairy tales won't do it. Hey, he looked unbothered. He looked like he was having fun. And that was one of his probably contractual obligations with Stake. But it was nice to watch that. And then I see this and I think, okay, yeah, this guy's, he's bothered. And he's taking on a giant. And I don't know if his head maybe got too big. If he wins this, it'll be unprecedented. But it's one of those things where if you win, did you really win? I think it just continues to fuel Kendrick Lamar. And the question is, will he throw a cease and desist at the NFL? Because if he's suing UMG, he definitely doesn't want that song performed at the NFL, which we've already gotten rumors via academics that they're 100% changing up the lyrics on there. They're not saying certified PDF file on national television with like 100 million plus people watching the Super Bowl. They're going to change some things up, but the sentiment is definitely still going to be there. And one of the things that Drake's lawsuit says is, oh, he's harboring an offender. He never said that. He just said, Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? And Baca does have a weird case. That doesn't mean Live Up to My Name doesn't slap, because that song definitely did slap the year that it came out. I was bumping that nonstop. Granted, I didn't know what Baca was doing, but I will still bump that song. I really don't know the extent of Baca's charges, to be honest. I know at face value they look crazy, which, I mean, that song doesn't make him seem any less crazy with lyrics, but in a different type of way, more violent. So this is entertaining for us. Not disappointing, the alternative thing that we got to have a conversation about is a lot of the 2020s, this decade, the highlights or the most popular moments of hip hop have been court cases, whether it's one party suing another. Of course, we had the Drake and Kendrick beef, which is resulting in this lawsuit to UMG. But also, you got to think the Diddy case. You got to think the Young Thug case. You got to think the YNW Melly case. A lot of this is just court cases, crime, Kodak Black going in and out of jail, not YNW Melly, the NBA Youngboy case. A lot of this is just legal stuff. The Lil Durk case, Rico, the King Von Rico that he would have gotten hit with if he was still alive. A lot of this is just crime or suing back and forth, which is going to be interesting looking back. Granted, it's only been 4 years in. We're going to be in the 5th year very soon. But is that a trend that anyone else has noticed? It's definitely a lot less common than it was in the 2010s. But I don't want to go on too much. That's pretty much covering the entirety of what I think about the situation. Sucker move by Drake. This is not something that makes him look any better, and his image is the most important thing. People aren't... I feel like it's phased out, the whole calling Drake a PDF, other than the Kendrick stans. Everyone else that's impartial, that's more so just enjoying the beef. Number one, Drake fans never believed it. And then the people like me that are genuinely in the middle, we don't really care anymore. I never believed what Kendrick Lamar was talking about. I just knew that it was raps. But we're kind of like, all right, that happened. Let's keep it pushing. Drake, what you got for us? Remember when he dropped that 100 gigs? I was messing with Circadian Rhythm. I was telling y'all Circadian Rhythm slaps. Everybody should be listening to that song nonstop. So I had already but moved past that and hadn't put that name or dirt on Drake's name. And I think the majority of regular average listeners that are very into hip hop, because the regular average listener probably doesn't even remember it, have let that pass. But he's bringing it up again, so it becomes the forefront of everything. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.